Yo, we locked in. It's due season. It's your boy Carl Anthony. And before I get into this video, please hit that like button right now. Yo, man, it's late. I mean, it's not late, but it's like 10 o'clock. Worked overtime today. You know, it was kind of a blessing, man. You know, you look at, one of my streams of income has dried up, aka barbering, because I'm not cutting nobody's hair. I'm not getting that close to nobody right now, and so therefore I'm not making that income, missing that income, right? So what happens? I get a call from my foreman, like, do you want to work overtime? Oh yes I do. Oh yes I do. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to say is I was thinking about overtime today. You know, and this is one of those thoughts become things type of things. Like I had money on my mind, not lack, but abundance. I was like, more money is coming into my life, you know? So I feel like I spoke it into existence, you know? And anytime I get some overtime, it's like necessary. It's like great. I'm supposed to get that. I'm blessed, right? Now, I wanted to speak to y'all about, improving for the greater good, right? A lot of you guys are having troubles with women. Whoa, somebody's driving crazy. Sorry. A lot of you guys are having trouble with women, and trouble with advancing in your career. You don't have a good circle of friends, whatever the case may be. Now, if you're socially awkward and it's hard for you to make friends, and you've always been like that, and you consider yourself an introvert, you got to step out the box. You have to step out the box, man. You got to be able to be able to speak to people with confidence. Because look, if you can't make friends, just guy friends, right? You're a dude. You can't make guy friends. How in the hell do you expect to date a woman? Because, like attracts like, meaning, birds of a feather flock together. Like, if you're into anime, right? It's a tribe of people who love anime. You got something you can relate to, right? So with girls, it's different. Now, like still attracts like, but it's different. It's like, you want to have some similarities with the woman that you are pursuing, but it's going to be the differences that's going to make her really want you. And what I mean is not what you're into, as far as like, you like to, go to concerts and read poetry. I ain't talking about that kind of stuff. I'm speaking about the thing that's opposite about you, as in your manliness versus her femininity. Those are the things that are going to keep her interested in you. The differences that make her intrigued about the man that you really are. Now, if you don't even know how to tap into those things, that's what you got to improve in. You got to start putting yourself in situations for women to be able to see the man that you want to project yourself as, right? But you got to become that man first. Now, pick a style. Pick a style. Everybody's style ain't gonna be the same. You got some people that are suit type of dudes. You got some people who wear streetwear, street fashion, or athleisure, joggers all the time. But you got to pick a style, and you got to do it to the best of your abilities. Like you got to do, you got to look good. So if you out of shape, if you're out of shape and you still trying to make this happen, you still got to put in some work as far as your look. You know, you still got to make sure you're well groomed, you smell good, you keep your hair cut, your beard trimmed. Because if you're fat and out of shape, there's got to be some other great qualities about you. You got to get your paper up. You got to get your money right. You know, you got to really, dive deep into your purpose and things that you want to do, being an entrepreneur, whatever the case may be. If your money is right, if you smell good, if you got a sense of humor, like you got to work on your skills. Like if you're an introvert and you don't know how to talk to people, you might need to join some kind of class like improv. Join an improv club. Some of them are free and some may cost a little bit, but study improv. Because a lot of times you can, dudes can ruin a situation with a woman because they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to relate. They don't know how to be spontaneous or speak about a plethora of things fluently. So improv will help on that, because what improv does is it causes you to think quick on your feet and say the first thing on your mind sometimes, things like that. And when you talk to women, dead spaces killer. You got to be able to find out. You got to be a good listener. Find out what she's into. Find out how to, manipulate that. I don't mean in a bad way. I'm just saying how to use that to spark her interest that you may know something about it. You just got to listen. Let a woman know you're listening. And that doesn't mean you got to be, oh, that's so. You don't have to overly care, but you got to listen. She got to know that you hear her. Now, unless she's talking about something like her ex-boyfriend or, things that are just frivolous. If she's talking about stuff like that, you don't want to hear that. You got to be stern on that. Stern on the things like, look, let's keep it about us. Now, don't risk being friend zone either, because sometimes you can be too nice. If a woman gets to calling you a sweetheart too early, she's not thinking of you in, a sensual way or as a man that she wants to see further than just going out on this one date. You gotta separate those lines, man. You gotta understand how to use your natural pheromones to attract her in a certain kind of way. Women feed off your smell. Women feed off your touch. Women feed off your voice, like the sound of your voice, like being able to, talk to her in a certain tone that vibrates her eardrums a little differently. These are some of the things you got to think about. And if you don't know how to do it, you got to study, man. You got to study. You got to really study, man. Figure out what your weaknesses are. Do you mumble too much? If you mumble too much, then work on your diction. Because women, when you mumble, you sound like you have low confidence. But when a woman can, and it's not about sounding white or sounding proper, but it's about being clear. A woman needs to know what you said, okay? Know what you said. So if she knows what you said, then, if she knows what you said, then, you're getting your point across. But if you're speaking and she got to ask you, can you repeat that? What did you say? Low confidence. But a man that's direct, a man that's clear, you know, it comes off as alpha. Okay? If you give her any signs that you're beta, based off like, you know, talking low with low volume and like I said, mumbling, no eye contact, man, when you look at a woman in her eyes, I mean, you look at her piercing in her eyes, boy, you can you can snatch a soul like that. I'm telling you. And those are the things you got to practice, man. If you got a problem with eye contact, you're not gonna get the woman that you really want. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of other shy women that don't, you know, that you can mess around and, you know, they'll like you just because they don't have too many people to choose from themselves. Like most women who are like, you know, extremely attractive and confident about how they look. But if you can look at a woman in her eyes and tell her exactly what you mean and you actually mean what you say, that's a different kind of energy that you're gonna give her, and she loves it. You know what I'm saying? She loves that. So you gotta tap into that. How do you get that kind of energy to a woman? Eye contact is key. Okay. Other nonverbal signals of confidence, like I said, is how to touch a woman appropriately that lets her know, you know, that you're not her friend. That you're not trying to be her friend. But appropriately. But you got to feed off what she's doing. Women give, you know, nonverbal cues all the time. You know, they do things like if she leads with her chest, you know, into you when she laughs, that's a sign that she wants to be closer. So guess what? Figure out a way that you can move closer. You know, these are the things you got to improve on, man. You got to know. You got to be able to know the signs and the signals. You got to be able to know how to handle it. You got to come across confident and ready for these situations. So, what can you do? Once again, take an improv class. Practice, you know, speaking to a camera like this, like a phone, you know. Like, pick a good cologne. Pick a good style, you know. You don't need a lot of money to have a good style. You can go to Target. You can, you know, go to H&M. You don't have to spend a lot of money, you know. Like, you just need to know how to put things together. Keep it simple. Keep it basic. You know, it's a lot of YouTube channels out there about style. And, you know, get you a pair of clean shoes. Make sure you smell the best that you can possibly smell. These are the things that will keep the interest in a woman. You know, keep your breath smelling good. You know, make sure your money is right. If a woman recognizes that you're penny pinching, she's gonna look at you as a man with low authority. So this is why I tell young guys, like, if you don't have your money right, you shouldn't be dating. You shouldn't be dating. And not that you should be spending all the money on a woman. You know, you need to find the type of woman that can treat you as well, you know? You don't want to just be the guy giving all your bread up for, you know, for some woman to just show you a little bit of attention, and when she really dealing with all other kind of guys as well. Read some books, learn some new topics, but most importantly, just be a man. Like, really be manly, okay? Being manly in times like this, where being manly is very, like, frowned upon, those are I'm telling you, those are going to be the driving forces to keeping a woman's interest in you, man, because there's so many men with feminine energy, right? There's so many men that give off a certain aura that mama's boy aura. And look, I was raised by a single mother, but I'm not a mama's boy. Like, and I love my mother to death. Like, do anything for her, but I'm not one of those guys that was always under his mother. Like, I did my own thing. I was a lone wolf as a kid. But you don't want to come off as a mama's boy, because women do not want to compete with your mother. And it's not their job to, okay? Sure, you want to hold your mama down. She did this for you. She did that for you. Cool. We get all of that. I understand that totally. But, you're your own man. You got to live your own life. You got to pick who you're going to be with or who you're not going to be with. You got to understand that. So, improve on these things. If your haircut looks whack, get a new barber. Plain and simple, man. Instagram is out here, man. You can see if you can find a dope barber in your town and find the best haircut that you could possibly find. That your money can pay for. There's really no excuses. There's a lot of content on YouTube that you can tap into to, work on some of these skill sets, get your money up, save some. I'm telling you, man, the more you do these things, the easier you have it, man. It'll spill over to all parts of your life. Go to the gym. Do a new skill. There's a lot of things you can do, man. But I ain't gonna hold you no longer, man. Probably won't drop another video on Sunday. Take the day off. But back on Monday. It's your boy Carl Anthony. Peace.